Okay, everybody, here we are. This is SHIBA INU. As you can see up here, this is basically the levels and what I was kind of looking at for a breakout. So I want to kind of review that a little bit with you guys today. Starting off when it started trading, what is it, back here in May of 21, when you really got to see it. I believe it was out even before then, but when you really kind of got to notice on exchanges and such. This is the price points that they had. I don't know if I really believe this wick up here, but we're looking at the daily right now. So this is kind of where we are. And that's kind of what we're going to look at. So as you can see down here, we had just this decline, and it's just been sitting here for a long period of time. But for the last several months, it's just been sitting here consolidating. We haven't been able to break through this, and this was really the key support. When we broke through this level here was when it was game on, right? And you can just tell by the volume. Look at the volume that we had on that at that breakthrough. It was a good indication that this was an actual upswing, and this was actually going to be a strong upswing. So we came up here. I think what did we touch? 0.35. I'm just going to call it 0.35. I know there's 4 zeros in front of it, but I'm not going to continue to repeat all those zeros. We kind of all get the picture over here. Now, what we're looking at over here, I'm going to slide over. As you can see, I put the various support and resistance levels here. This is kind of a resistance level. It was on the way down. We had a break here and we kind of started there. And as well, it acted as resistance here, and we broke through that. As well as what we would consider the daily all-time high here, not these wicks up. I'm looking at just the bars here. That was the second level of resistance, and we just smashed right through that one. And so if we want to count this as the top, that would be maybe a very small. You see the volume is pretty low on that time period too. It was higher than what it was normally, but I mean nothing compared to what we're seeing here and over here, right? So this volume level is much lower than this pattern over here when we broke through it. So breaking through it here, much higher volume. Things are looking good. This is, as you can see, if I pull this across here, you can see this pattern over there where all the volume is just well above the original levels over there that was causing it to drop down. So strong pattern here. And as we get over here, I'm gonna kind of zoom into us a little bit here so we can see a little bit better now. What we've had is this pattern of consolidation, and it really had an opportunity to come back down and retest this level here. And if we would have come down here and retested this, we may have bounced back up, or we may have just maybe been the end of Shiba, right? As you can see, that didn't happen. We consolidated. We stayed in this pattern here, this little channel, up and down, and now we've flipped over and we're on our way up. I would assume the next psychological resistance level, or somewhat resistance level, is going to be right here where we saw that wick earlier at 0.4998, if you can see that on the right hand side there. So that's the next pattern I'm looking for. We're here on the daily. We're in an uptrend similar to we were right here. Now we might get a little consolidation on the way up, but I feel like in the next probably before let's say November-ish, when November's all the way out here, unless we have some sort of pattern here where we would go up, I would definitely see us kind of keeping this trend here, and possibly somewhere around right around Halloween time period, coming up and retesting this. And now if we retest this and we go through it, we might retest it, bounce off, come back down here to 37, kind of come in here and hang out. It just depends on the volume that we get and how the world reacts to that, right? But as we get here, if we hit through this 4998 level, it's discovery mode. And if it's anything like what happened back here when we broke up, so when we broke up here in this pattern, this was basically it. We broke up to right here, as you can see that. It was 226% in 3 days. So yeah, once we broke through that pattern here, where we kind of had this resistance, boom, we broke through that pattern. If we start there, let's see, we'll go right there. This would be day 3 right here, so it would be almost today we would be expecting. I don't know if we're going to hit that. We're going to be flying up here. As you can see, you can't even tell off my screen now. It's going to be, what, 200 and something percent of that level. We can kind of drop that down a little bit really quick and see where that would be. I don't see that happening. I don't see it playing out that way. Not that it's not possible, but I just don't see it currently playing out that tomorrow it goes up. But yeah, I've been surprised before. So, we'd be looking almost close to popping up one less decimal place, right? That would be a similar move that we had back here, would be coming right here, and that would be within the next day or two, that popping up to here. So what I would probably expect to see, is I'm probably going to expect to see something along the lines of coming up to here to retest that all-time high. If we retest that all-time high, as shown on the wick on the bar charts here, I can see it kind of coming up into this level up here somewhere. Just somewhere in this tier. We're not really sure, but hanging out in this level up here and kind of trying to find a new place to consolidate. So that's my opinions. That's where I'm kind of wondering. I'm kind of thinking Shiba's going to go. We're going to kind of slide up here. We do have we had a lot of volume down here. We had a good amount of volume to get past and blow through this original candle here, this level. So we have a lower volume, but it's still it's still green. We're still up. So I find that, this is today, so we're on October 25th, we're coming up here to match some volume, so hopefully this kind of extends up here. If we can get some more volume on this and we can get back up to these levels here, that would kind of give me the green light that this is definitely probable, more probable than not. If not, the volume stays a little low, we might consolidate here a little bit before we get some more high volume like this. Maybe Elon Musk buys another dog or something, but in that case, or as the rising tide raises all ships. If we have a massive cryptocurrency catalyst that maybe Bitcoin breaks through its all-time high again, or something to that effect, where the altcoins kind of jump up, we could have that. That could be the volume it needs for people to start throwing their money back into crypto, or maybe if people took profits around here that maybe bought back at the original. That's kind of what you run into a lot of the times, is that people back here, when you've purchased over here and you've been holding it for 6 months and you're watching your gains come down to this level here of just such a small amount, and it comes back up, a lot of people tend to take profits that have been holding on. They just can't hold on any longer, and they're scared of having this same pattern form again. And then what ends up happening is it doesn't form, but it does kind of consolidate. A lot more buyers, because now you've got the people that have seen this go from here to here, and then they come in and start buying it up because they're excited for a 200% move. Meanwhile, these people over here selling it to them because they're terrified of whatever this down. What was this? If you bought at the peak, which who knows who did that? Let's see. If you bought here, you're looking at almost a 77% loss. So to get their money back, if they've been holding off for this long, that means if they hadn't sold it in here just to kind of recoup some of that maybe now some of the people that are up in here that bought, which we have some volume indicating that we had some people buying there, and so if we have that over here as well, we could be running into something similar where these people are selling, and that's where we have this this amount of buyers and sellers, kind of similar, so supply and demand kind of thing, but as you get more people interested, you get more buyers than you do sellers. That's going to drive the price higher and higher. So that's kind of my target price right now. First, I want to see us kind of get through this level right here and see what happens at this 4998 level, this basically 5 level. If we can get through that on the daily, close above it, so like we did here, I'm looking very bullish on it to price discovery mode. Somewhere up in this level, maybe even to go up 100%. There's so much volume that occurs once you hit that all-time high that you never know what the euphoria comes. And who knows? Maybe we come up a little bit. We only go to 6, then we kind of come back down and we flip this resistance to support. We kind of bounce around here before we're going up higher. Right? There's a lot of different scenarios that could occur. Nobody's got a crystal ball. If we did, we'd all be really rich. So it was kind of just looking through the probabilities and thinking through the scenarios and kind of being risk adverse on those scenarios, and knowing that we could come up here, hit this, and come back down, or we could kind of hang out down here on this bar and we could test a little bit lower. And if we did break back through down here, I would expect we're going to come back down to here, and I'd probably jump out. So I did have right around here, 0.25. I do have a stop loss in right around 0.25. Because I expect that if we can't hold here, then we're going to drop back down to here, and I don't want to be any part of that move. I'm okay riding it out right now, and I'm just going to let the market kind of help me decide what play it is. If we're going to kind of go up into this pattern and go further, if we're going to go up here, kind of consolidate, drop back down a little bit, hang out in this channel before skyrocketing off, or what we're going to do. We could use something like this and hang out in these, and there's a lot of scenarios right now. So right now, all I know is we broke through one of the heavier resistance thing. I would expect us to kind of come up and test this move in the next couple days, probably before November, given the way that Shiba tends to move pretty quickly and easily. But as it gets a bigger and bigger market cap, it maybe moves a little bit slower, right? Maybe these kind of tend to string out a little bit. Maybe we're looking at like the first week of November. See right here, if we kind of hold on this kind of pattern here, we could be looking at the first week of November. But all in all, it's looking bullish. It looks like we're going to be hopefully going up and touching this 4994 level right here. So that's kind of my next target level, and or we'll just kind of hang out here and kind of pop back up and do that as well. So many different scenarios. I'll kind of be looking through this every day, making sure that we kind of stay on track, see how we close. It looks like we're kind of heading up a little bit more now, right as I'm talking. This candle's kind of extending up. So what we'd really like to see, we don't want today to close under 37.98. We want to close above that. We are currently holding above that right now at 39.36. So we want to keep this above there. And then what I'd like to see is another candle would start off, somewhere right in here. And that might extend us up to this 4.6, 4.5 level. So we did get a wick up here. We didn't hold it, but we did close above this level here, which was a good resistance level according to this wick here. So we'll see kind of how this works. But ideally, we'll want to close above, what's this level here? So 37.98. So we want to close above this 37.98 on the day, and that'll hopefully start up a new pattern going kind of up into this level here. So if we close below it, it's not a game changer. We close here, and then maybe tomorrow we test out, this 37.98 level. If we get stopped out there, we might be looking at coming back down and retesting 35 or 34.70, and then even possibly, back down to the 30.58 level. So with that, guys, keep your risk stop losses in place. Make sure that you're not risking too much money. You don't want to be over leveraging yourself. It does look like we're on an uptrend. It does look like a positive situation here, but always manage your risk well, and that's how you see it, and that's how you make money. So with that, guys, hopefully you have a good one. Hopefully it helped you, and see you maybe tomorrow if things change.